Why is there a flower festival in Tergaenae that all citizens of our entire world seem to celebrate? I explain it in today's episode. Hi everyone, my name is Riri. If you want to know more about me, go check out that video that Ilse interviewed me for. Today, I will take you into Tergaenae instead and tell you all about the Flowers of Luck Festival. Ilse has asked me if I could speak a little slower, so I will try to do that. Before I can tell you about the Flowers of Luck Festival, I first need to tell you about the breaking of the world. From all the legendary reports that have been made about 1,000 years ago, it was a horrific event. Magic had gotten totally out of control in its growth, and our beloved Tergaenae was breaking apart. A lot happened at that time. Lots of terrible things. Many people lost their lives. But that's not important right now. What is important to know now is that to end the breaking of the world, my ancestors, together with the small folk, sought help from the dragons to plead with the deities. And the dragons suggested to get the help of someone who was later called the One. She was one of the oceanic people and came to plead with the others for the deities to stop the breaking of the world. There is, according to the legends, a lot she had said to and shown the deities. One of the things she had shown were what she called the flowers of luck. Even though many of them normally didn't bloom at that time of the year, during the breaking of the world, they bloomed. The One was convinced this was a sign of nature and magic that wanted the world and magic to be rescued. How the deities responded to that? Well, Tergaenae is still here, isn't it? And so are we. Silly humans not knowing how magic and deities work. Maybe I should tell you more about the breaking of the world at another time. I think I might be able to convince the High Council of Tergaenae to ask the deities if that is okay. Yes, I get to talk about my favorite treat. Let's get into these flowers. I really love them. The land flowers have the best, what do you humans call it? Nectar. That's right, nectar. And I really love that. It's so sweet and tasty. You can really wake me up in the middle of the night for that. And they have such nice colors. I always like that. But before Ilse tells me to move on, let's get into which flowers are actually the flowers of luck. The One brought 4 flower types that represented each part of nature and magic. Earth, fresh water, salt water, and, of course, magic. According to the One, these 4 types not only represent our beloved planet Tergaenae and its nature, but also the peoples and creatures living in Tergaenae. And, of course, magic. For the Earth group, the One chose 2 flowers that grow very well on Earth. One is a large yellow flower. It can grow up to 1 meter or even higher, and it has a large, round flower head. When it is fully grown, it has seeds in it that several birds like to eat. And people like to use the seeds for making oil that is used both in cooking and in healing. Because it looks like a sun, it is called sunflower in Tergaenae. I've been told you Earthlings have the same name. I like that. It is not a flower we flutter nymphs visit, but it does look nice. An earth flower that we flutter nymphs love to visit is what we call the hairy tongue flower. This flower has tiny hairs on the inside and outside, especially on the part that looks like a tongue. We flutter nymphs love the nectar from the flowers, but the hairs do tickle. The flower may look hairy, but it has a lot of nectar to give, and that is why it is covered by both the flutter nymphs and the peoples. The people use the nectar to make drinks, and they use it in healing. For the One, there was one freshwater flower that really made a difference, and that is a beautiful, mostly pink flower that grows in the water. Its leaves are dark green, and like the pink and a little bit of white flower, they come out of the water, and they can come really high. The flower is called after the woman who discovered it so many eras ago, Aline Rubicon. So the flower is called Alina Ruby. This flower gives seeds that can be eaten, and the stems are used in soap production. If the flower is gifted to someone, it is gifted as a wish for wealth for the receiver of the flower. I have seen some paintings of water flowers you Earthlings have, and this one comes the closest. As the One was one of the oceanic people, she of course knew many flowers of the salt waters. She chose 2 to present to the deities. The first is called the Agra almita. This is a flower that grows in the shallower salt waters. It doesn't come above the water unless the water retreats very far. I have heard from sea turtles it is a very tasty flower that grows in abundance in certain places. And I understand the oceanic people like to eat them as well. If you've watched the Inky Wink Beats news show yesterday, you may have heard that the people of Silk and Bamboo work together with the oceanic people. This is the flower that is now given to each family. The third saltwater flower, the one chose to present to the deities, is the yellow speckled alia. It is a red flower with yellow speckles. One of the sea turtles told me it looks spectacular. And it not only looks spectacular, it is also used in special medicines that are used to treat the worst wounds. I was told the flowers look quite similar to what your earthlings call the dragon's tongue. Now, I've seen some dragon tongues. They do not look like this. But maybe the dragon tongues on Earth do look like this? Let me know. With magic being so out of control and destructive, the One thought it was important to show the deities that magic could also be very beautiful. That is why she chose 3 magic flowers to present to the deities. The first is a flower that can start green, but also directly white. It looks like an oval cup on its side. The faint fragrance of this flower is said to be helpful in peace talks. It is called the oval peace cup. I have seen paintings of a flower that, according to earthlings, also has to do with peace, the peace lily. I have to say they look quite alike. The second magic flower is a flower that has a purple shell and a white heart. The flowers come from a dark red stem. The purple part of the flowers is used both in potions and in dyes, while the white part of the flowers is used in salves. The white part is also edible. This flower is called the Minaldar almu, named after the 2 children who originally found this flower countless of eras ago. I have seen paintings of a flower you earthlings call sea lavender, and I have to say it looks quite like our flower. Do you also use it in medicine and as food? The last flower is said to be a bringer of luck if gifted to someone. It has many white flowers on top, and its stems can be made into magical formations while in growth. Once the stem has fully formed, it is hard though, so to be able to make a formation with it, you need to keep an eye on it and start the formation when the part above the last ring is still growing. Once the next ring has been formed, the part under the ring can't be bent anymore. These flowers are made into both luck formations and love formations. Luck formations are a sign of friendship and given to friends to support them. They are also given between states to show they have a bond of friendship. The love formations are given to new partnerships to wish them a long life together with much love and many children. I have seen paintings of what you earthlings call lucky bamboo. The Minaldar almu looks quite like that, but it does have flowers, loads of them, and a hard stem. But why is yours called a flower? I haven't seen flowers on the paintings. And why is it called bamboo? I understand that it is quite different from bamboo. You earthlings are sometimes a bit weird, but I've come to like you. Now that you know all the flowers, let's look at the date of the Flowers of Luck Festival. As I said earlier, not all flowers bloom around the time that we remember the breaking of the world. But they all bloom around this special day. The day is the 4th day of the 4th month. 4 is one of the 3 lucky numbers in Tergaenae, and when you add 4 to 4, you get 8, which is considered to be the luckiest number in Tergaenae. That is why this day has been chosen to celebrate the Flowers of Luck. You may find it strange that this festival is celebrated by everyone in Tergaenae. But for us, it is very normal, however. Even though it may vary per country, we celebrate the mercy of the deities who saved our beloved Tergaenae after all. Each country has its own traditions of celebrating these flowers, but one thing they all have in common: the flowers. In general, you will find that there are processions in which the flowers are brought to the main temples in the capital, or to the temples in one of the larger cities that are further away from the capital. Families will come to offer their flowers to the deities. It is up to each family to decide which flower they will offer. Families may also choose to first make a small offering at their family's altar before participating in the procession towards the temple. I'm not going to give you all the details of all the countries in Tergaenae. If I were to do that, it would take me days, no, weeks. No, longer I think. But let me give you a few examples. In the Silk and Bamboo Empire, where Princess Naja is from, you will see that part of the procession is done in the salt waters. The turtles and the oceanic peoples are part of the procession and the traditions. The imperial family leads the procession and the High Mage is the spiritual guide. In contrast to offering all the flowers in a land-bound temple, the offerings are made in a temple that is half in the rocks, half in the waters, and close to the main turtle sanctuary. It is the same temple that is used for the turtle release ceremony in the beginning and the end of the year. In dragon cities, the dragons are an important part of the procession. They are the ones who will eventually burn the offerings to send them to the deities this way. The processions will go from the big bazaar to the outer lake. People will take part in the procession either by boat over the rivers or by walking over the hanging bridges. The royal family leads the procession. The High Mage and the leader of the eldest of the Hamdina society are the spiritual guides during the festival. Now that you know a little bit about how this festival is celebrated by many of the peoples, let me tell you a little bit about how we as the Flutter Nymphs do this. We celebrate it together with the small folk, the smallest of dragons, and a few representatives of the lost children. Those representatives are the ones who built the altars in the forest in the past. We collect a variety of small flowers because, all those flowers the peoples are offering are simply way too big for us. We offer these flowers at the altars where the spiritual guide of the small folk sent the offerings to the deities. After that, we have a large feast with nectar and the earliest fruits that are available and singing by the small folk and dancing. It is wonderful to do that, to have that, to be there. At a later time, I might tell you more about how this festival is celebrated in other countries. If you want more of these deep dives, but 2 days before they officially go live, consider becoming an honorable Tergaenaean. The link is in the show notes below. Ilse has told me you can also buy mugs and t-shirts there with my painting on it. For now, I thank you all for your companionship. From the world of Tergaenae, Ilse and myself, I wish you a wonderful day filled with creativity and magic.